I don't really care that much about the threats. It's just very interesting that this gets left out of the story, if it's true. Lao Tin Bao Gan Ma. Lao Tin Bao. Lao Tin Bao Xi Xiang Chong. It's just like some seething internet tough guy loser with awful facial hair. 100%. You know this guy would have snapped and stuck it to the Stacy's.
Realistically, there's a lot of other things I don't have to deal with at all if he does kill me, so, like...
We've all been there.
Hey!
We've all been there, folks.
You wake up, you know, you slept weird, you get a crank
We've
in
all
your
been
neck,
there. Haven't we all been there?
Haven't we all been there?
Haven't we all been there? We've all been there, folks. One of the biggest points that Destiny's fans will always defend him on, that people on the outside often think is insane, is the DDoS Kid story. And I have, and always have had, sympathy for Destiny in that story. I've even defended Destiny in his position in that argument many times. Where basically, his story is that there was a kid in the StarCraft days, in about 2011, there was a kid who was repeatedly DDoSing Destiny. And this was stopping him from being able to stream. And it was just his stream was taking off. And so he was put in a position where it felt like his career was being totally stopped by this kid. Because basically back in the day, you could very easily grab someone's IP through Skype. And so this kid would just DDoS him again and again. Now Destiny said his argument basically is, well, the FBI won't do anything about it. There aren't the laws and the processes and the precedent and civil litigation to get anything done about this legally. I can't stop this kid from doing it. I've called his dad. I've asked him to stop. He hasn't stopped. So I have to stop him now. How do I stop him? Well, I have to kill him. That's Destiny's argument. And fundamentally, there's an issue with that because there are levers through society. Like, most people will agree that if you were being totally f***ed over, like, if you run a small business and you're getting robbed constantly, and the police aren't doing anything about it, you've gone through every single avenue to try and get stopped, obviously, eventually, you have to use lethal force. When you have no other option and your property or your person is being violated, some amount of force or lethal force might be necessary. However, Destiny had not even attempted to use any other methods, as far as I'm aware. He could have used Ventrilo to talk to people, which did not share your IP, but he wanted to use Skype. He could have attempted civil litigation, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to go through the effort. He didn't think it was worth it. So ultimately, what he's saying is, I should be able to kill people if they're annoying me. That's basically what he's arguing. Because he hasn't actually, it's not actually permanently affecting his income or constantly affecting his income. And he hasn't taken any other steps to try and stop it. So, you can't excuse killing someone in that case. It's just totally stupid. And he got absolutely obliterated by Pisco on this as well. They were arguing about basically, should you be able to shoot someone over a blade of grass in your garden? If they try and steal a blade of grass, should you be able to shoot someone? And Destiny was basically like, yeah, or some shit. So, we're going to, as far as I'm aware, they've actually, there is actually precedent to imply that Destiny's just wrong legally as well in America, as far as I'm aware. However, the DDoS Kid has returned. In a strange twist of fate, the DDoS Kid has returned. Somehow, DDoS Kid returned. And MrGirl has had him on to talk about exactly what happened. And obviously, there's not a lot of evidence for anything that's said in here. And Destiny doesn't provide a lot of evidence for stuff he says about what happened back then. So it is going to be a little bit he said, she said, but with two he's. However, I did hear a bit of this, and there are some discrepancies between the story Destiny tells people and the story this guy tells people. So we'll see. Let's have a look.
All right. So it's good to finally meet you.
Good to meet you. Hi.
The DDoS Kid.
Yeah, I'm referred to as the DDoS Kid. It's been a long time. It's a long time in my past. Full disclosure for the people listening. Me and Max have talked previously about setting this up. and I was hesitant about coming forward due to my job and threats that I received from Destiny personally, and from his community back then. And I don't want to get caught up or like be famous online or anything like that.
He does sound black, does it? I also thought he might be black. I'm also detecting black from the voice. I'm glad someone else picked it up.
So the reason you're not seeing my face, that's the reason why. So just for the audience listening, but yeah. So I came forward to Max.
Oh, I don't actually know. I've never heard the DDoS Kid's voice. I've got no idea, Firsty. I'm relying purely on Max's ability to verify this person. So for all I know, this might not even be the DDoS. I should make that clear. I don't know this is the DDoS Kid. I'm trusting MrGirl when he says the DDoS Kid and his dad talk about Destiny's 2011 threats on their lives. I'm trusting his ability to verify.
Max, and kind of told him that I was a DDoS Kid, leaving a comment, kind of hoping he would believe me. And then he did get in contact with me, and shared a part of my story. And so this is like a telling of that story and what happened. Now, for clarity, I will say that as far as like the dates and age exactly, I don't know, but I'm sure Max has more links. So I am a young.
According to the dates I have, this would be the spring of 2011, so you would be 15.
Yeah, right. Yes. And so yeah, I'm accepting. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's perfect, because I wasn't out of high school yet, and I had been involved with a group on Xbox Live that like we learned how to boot host, we learned how to do like man in the middle and phishing operations. But I was very like brand new, green, completely like just like I didn't know anything. And anyway, I picked up StarCraft because one of my friends started playing, and I found this guy Destiny who was playing the game. And as I was watching Destiny, I noticed he would get upset. He's like a typical like easy bait troll. Like you can easily like he loses the game, he screams, pounds the keyboard or whatever. I mean that not realistically, but like you can see he gets flustered. So I just thought, oh, this would be a funny prank. I'm gonna DDoS this guy, and it was purely for a bait reason. And the total number of times, and this is me guessing maximum, and this is like it could be anywhere between 4 times all the way up to 10 times, and I doubt it was even 10 times, because like I said, I was a kid. I left stupid like trail markers.
So immediately, already, if this is true, I struggle to believe. It's difficult for me to think that in less than 10 times it becomes justified to kill this kid. To kill a child. Like, the way I was thinking about this is it was basically every time he tried to go online, he was getting DDoS down for like a week. Like, he couldn't stream for like a week. That's sort of like what I was thinking. But that doesn't sound like, from this guy's perspective, quite what was happening. If your income's not actually being cut off, that actually fucks the justification.
So that he could find my name. I believe I had my full name on Skype or something, and I messaged him, and I had not my full name, my partial name, like a username that I go by. I had that, and people figured it out, and also had people in the community who were able to pull my IP address. So when I booted him offline, like I said, this is not for anybody that's tech savvy. Basically, what you got to do is switch your IP to dynamic, unplug your router, plug it back in, and then I'm not going to include
Missy Elliott, here's a hypothetical, okay? This is because there is a line where this is just absolutely the case. It just is. You agree murder is justified if income is cut off. You agree with it, you just don't realize it. If there's an old woman, okay, and she's trying to get into her store. She runs a store. It's an old Korean woman. She runs a corner store. She's trying to get into her store, and there's 3 black guys standing in the doorway. She goes there one day, and they're standing there, and they're like, we're not letting you into your store. You're not allowed in. And she calls the police, and they're like, we can't do anything about it. We're too busy. So she goes home. She goes back the next day, and the same thing happens. She goes home. She goes back a 3rd day, and the same thing. And like, at which point are we saying, okay, this old lady can just shoot these 3 black guys because no one else is doing anything? Like, at what point? Or does the old woman just have to starve? Does the old woman just have to fucking starve and die? No, it's her store. She owns the store, Missy Elliott. She can't get another. She owns that store. She's gonna go into debt and go bankrupt and her life's gonna be fucked if she doesn't go to work. It's her store. I mean, that's just like an easy timeout if you can't engage your hypothetical. That's just like 100% leave. So, you must agree, at some point, that old lady, lethal force is allowed. At some point, when you're being cut off from your business, from your income, you have to be able to use force.
All of them, but a few of them went above and beyond what is an acceptable like response. Like, you know, he was able to find me out pretty quickly. I would say within 24 hours, you know, 24 to 48 hours.
Why they gotta be black guys? Because black guys are scarier than white guys.
Who I was, on my phone number, my name, my family's name, where I went to school. But so the normal reaction would be, you know, you know, I'm a kid still, so call my dad and be like, you know, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. DDoS's kid's father, your son is engaging in activity that's annoying me and is illegal. And he would have spanked me, or, you know, I would have been grounded, and that would have been that. No, instead what he does is he starts calling my house phone over and over and over again. And my dad had answered and heard him and told him, we understand your concern.
You can attach Jordan's shoebox to a fishing line and lure them under a giant iron cage he drops on them.
DDoS Kid promises not to do this again. We won't bother you. And that wasn't to satisfy, that didn't satisfy him. So my dad is off on a business trip, and this is I would say a day later, after we had talked to him initially, and then he's calling my house again. And he's saying, you know, calling me, you know, telling me my address, telling me that he's, you know, got friends, and that he's thinking about buying a gun, coming to my house, and that he knows where my sister goes to school, and that he's going to come drive to my house. He's going to murder me, my father, my brother, my sister, and my mother. And he's going to rape my mother and my sister and record all of it because I'm ruining his life.
I can't think of a real world scenario where that happened. Have you considered the LA riots? The LA riots? That kind of happened? No, that was a whole rooftop Korean thing. It's kind of like where I'm drawing the Korean example from. Like, there have been plenty of cases where people had to use lethal force to defend their business. Or been ready to use lethal force to defend their business. And if there's no authority that's willing to do anything about it, then, I mean... Like, they're literally... They are affected. It's you or them, basically. You can't eat if you have no money. Your family suffer. Or as a result of the hostility and aggression of another party. Dude, chill. Literally, it's so annoying. I'll see one person say rewind, okay? If I need to rewind, I literally just rewound as well. You just weren't fucking watching. Firsty, easy 5 minutes. Are people being annoying in chat?
Father, my brother, my sister,
the Destiny
and my
content's
mother,
annoying as it is.
and he's going to rape my mother and my sister and record all of it because I'm ruining his life. And as you can imagine, you know, he was a streamer at this time making money, but...
So, Destiny called this kid and threatened to rape. Destiny called this kid and threatened to rape his whole family and record it. Apparently. That's the claim. So... raping is not justified. Now, Destiny is... Here's the thing, right? It depends on how much he knows. If he knows it's like a child... Threatening to rape anyone is totally fucked. However, if an adult is DDoSing you, like literally taking your internet off, I don't really begrudge someone who throws out some threats, to be honest. Well, he wasn't threatening the sister or mother directly, right? He was making a threat to the kid about the sister and mother. I don't really begrudge someone for threatening someone who's DDoSing them. That part I don't begrudge. The main moral contention is the idea, would Destiny be justified in killing this kid? Because he mapped out streets and bought a gun and all this stuff, took steps. But is that stuff justified? Is it justified to be planning to kill this kid based on what happened? That's the main thing in contention. Someone DDoSes the fuck out of you and is taking your internet offline. I get why you say I'm going to rape the fuck out of you. I get why you say something. I get how you get brought to that point. Now, it depends whether Destiny knew he was a kid. Obviously, you shouldn't be making rape threats about his mother and sister if you know it's a fucking kid. But it was the 2011 internet. It's a whole different fucking environment. It's like, you know. I don't really care that much about the threats. It's just very interesting that this gets left out of the story, if it's true.
10, even if it was 10 times, the amount of money lost was, let's say at max $500. It's well beyond. And he had a clear, overt motive. He told me that he was going to buy a gun from his local gun store, and that he
was
already
15.
MapQuest out. I think they're MapQuest or Google Maps my house. I forget exactly which one he said, but that he was going to drive to my house, and at the middle of the night he was just going to come in and kill my family.
The correction says 16. Oh, okay.
Hung up the phone. I think I engaged verbally back and forth.
Do you remember what you said?
I basically, I was like, kind of like you would say back in the old Xbox Live days. Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, you don't know shit. Just kind of, because I had dealt with kids on Xbox Live. My dad's the CEO of Microsoft. My dad's the CEO of Halo. We're gonna come get you. The FBI's gonna arrest you. So at first, I kind of like, brush it off. But then he calls back. He's calling back again, and he's really really threatening me.
So this is all left out of the story that Destiny tells. So I don't know like how true any of this is. Obviously, I can't verify this fucking DDoS Kid's claims from fucking that 15 years ago. That's like impossible. But this stuff, if it's true, is always left out of Destiny's Reclaim. I don't hear this stuff ever. But at the same time, it doesn't like hugely change my perception. Really, I already didn't think Destiny was justified in trying to kill this kid based on the story that I was hearing. Now, I used to defend it when I thought it was like, there was... Once I heard Pisco make the case of like, there are routes you could take, so you haven't actually demonstrated that all of your options were cut off. It's like, well, yeah, that is true. Like, as much as you think that civil litigation isn't going to work, you can make that guess. You're not even trying it. You're not even really trying it. So you haven't exhausted your options, and you're going straight to killing this kid. That's just basically killing because they're annoying you. But I think with the like harassment, when it's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna rape you, or whatever, it's like, well, yeah, you're DDoSing. Like, you're both harassing each other. You're both doing illegal harassment to each other. It's about whether there's a crazy escalation.
And then I started going online to check his stream and seeing what people are saying, and people are agreeing that he needs. He needs to do something. He needs to call the police. He needs to find me. He needs to hurt me. And so when my dad gets back from the business trip, I tell my father, and my father then messages Destiny through email, and emails him and says that what my son has told my son has said that he has stopped doing this, and I had stopped doing it, and that you need to calm down and not harass us any further. And I believe there is a voice.
Go back home after successful night of socializing. What do I see? You're not appreciating Repzion being dragged by a soy community he cultivated. Wow. But it's not his community. It's just like randoms on YouTube drama. Repzion doesn't have a community. He doesn't even really do YouTube. Like what? He does like a video every few weeks, every month.
Recording with him and my father, or my father says that he remembers that Destiny said he was recording him. I wasn't privy to this. I think I stepped out of the room because of embarrassment. I didn't want to, I didn't want to know what was kind of happening, but I also kind of wanted to do so. I think I was outside the door, and I could hear Destiny verbally shouting that he was gonna, I could hear him shouting. I couldn't hear what he was saying. So, my dad hangs up the phone. Again, he blocks the number. And so this is the second time he's blocked. Now he's using a spoof number to call my house. And then there's a separate part of the story that happens. Let's see, how do I kind of explain this? So basically, when he...
Dude, what is this shit Sonic's just posted?
टॉमी सी एक आदमी थे? नहीं, वह एक आदमी हैं। कुछ लोग कहेंगे कि वह आखिरी असली आदमियों में से एक हैं। वह एक नवोन्मेषक, एक रचनात्मक व्यक्ति, ऑनलाइन सामग्री निर्माण के एक सच्चे दिग्गज हैं। और मेरा मानना है कि इन कठिन समयों में भी मेरे लिए यह गलत होगा कि मैं पीछे मुड़कर न देखूं और हमारे बुजुर्ग
It's the Indian language Liquid Sonic channel.
वो में से एक की महानता का अध्ययन न करूं, क्योंकि हमसे पहले आए लोगों से बेहतर हमें कौन सिखा सकता है। तो टॉमी सी की दुखद कहानी पर एक नजर। ऐसे नहीं टॉमी, ऐसे नहीं। 12 साल पहले टॉमी ने एक साधारण और महान लक्ष्य के
Okay.
He's looking for me initially. When he finds out who my sister is, he calls a school that I didn't go to and finds a kid whose name is similar to mine, and he calls his family and makes.
When are we getting the Mandarin Chinese Kuihman channel? I'm learning. There won't be a Mandarin channel though. I will just start doing all my content in Mandarin. We're just saying like Lao Tin Bao Gan Ma, Lao Tin Bao Xi Xiang Chong. Just like every day. That would just be every day. Where's the dog video? True. Where's Dude, this is already a totally fucked segment, isn't it? Mountains of gold and roads of silver.
That's against his family that he's gonna buy a gun, he's gonna drive down and murder me, murder that kid, and then rape and kill his mother and sister. And so that kid's father gets in touch with my father because my sister comes home, like crying, being like, some kid at school said that there's this like kid that's gonna like rape me, and so my dad gets in touch with.
Well, I'm pretty sure Bisco was saying that you should try and sue him and shit like that. Like, there's obviously other stuff you could do, and obviously he didn't have to use Skype either. He could have used Vent, like
who has got the similar name to me.
And then he ended up coming up with a novel DDoS protection solution anyway, right? Didn't he like write some fucking guide that he always brags about? So obviously killing him was not the only way.
But goes to a different school and is not me. And so, and this kid, I believe.
So that's kind of like, it's got to be like prohibitively difficult to do anything other than killing him for it to be justified, really. Killing is the last resort.
I believe he had back and forth with Destiny, angered him, was like, fuck you, I'm going to keep going, screw you. And
even though it was not him who was DDoSing him, he just said that.
Right. Because he was
okay, so this is a key claim here from this DDoS Kid, is the idea that Destiny basically got the wrong kid and started harassing a different kid who then goaded Destiny and made him worse. Okay? So this is a key claim. I don't know if I believe this at all. It's like, there's no way for me to falsify it, and it seems convenient. Because it basically, if this kid goaded Destiny, then it's like, I guess it's slightly more justified in some people's eyes that Destiny threatens to rape his mum and sister. But if he didn't, then it's not.
Yeah, and this as far as I know, I never met the kid, but I am from my understanding from my sister is this kid is typical gamer type, me at my age, basically. I think he was a year or two older than me. And so he was less scared of the threats. And so he was, like just talking shit to him. And then, and so those kind of converge, and just to reconnect the point, those kind of converge right when he's finding out who I am. And so eventually, when he does figure out that he is talking to me, not the other kid, so that happens back when I said there was all these phone calls when my dad left, and there was all these phone calls coming in. That's when he found out that this was me, that I was the real DDoS Kid, not the other kid he had been talking to. And it was just persistent, and I think it went on for I think the messages and harassment went on for a week. I think he said that he tried to call Judge Judy and get a case. He wanted to get me on a case against me and sue me. But what really unnerved me was the incessant threats of the rape. When someone says they're going to murder you, how real do you take that? When someone says that when they list out your address and say they're going to rape your mother and your sister, and they're going to do it at a specific date, that was really, really scary. And my dad got nervous, and he bought a 12 gauge shotgun for the house, and
awesome.
We made sure to lock the doors at night. And then the chilling part was when I saw the video of him, like a self-confession. I guess you would know more about this than me, but it's kind of a self-confession video, and I'm sure you'll link it, where he talks about this deranged state that he was in. He was in this manic state, and he really was going to harm me.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS Kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how...
Like, he says that I did troll the shit out of the DDoS Kid. That does lend some credibility to the idea of these phone calls to me. Like, I've never heard Destiny explicitly say that you threatened to rape this kid's mom or sister, but, like, look, having seen, I think I saw this clip, maybe one other, or Max references another clip at some point. I can fill in the gaps from the little bits Destiny says and sort of see where that could have happened. So I don't know if it did or not, but, like, I can totally see, I can see the, where the gaps in the way Destiny's presenting it would be, if you know what I mean. Like, saying, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS Kid there, and then immediately moving on to the rest of this stuff to sort of, like, not say too much about what happened on those phone calls. It's like, that makes sense to me. But obviously I don't have evidence, so I don't know.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS Kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, I was so, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house to kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most fucked up shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it. But dude, I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of... Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so close to this fucking address. I had fucking streets mapped out and fucking you had no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting interest in, like, owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything. Holy fuck.
And when I saw that, it made my blood...
But this clip, I don't understand. It's so just, like, gay that there's so many people that think this is, like, cool. It's just like some seething internet tough guy loser with awful facial hair. Like, he's just, like, it's so pathetic. Yeah, just mad at the internet. Mad as fuck at the internet.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS Kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, I was so, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting...
There are DJs, oh my god, he's so cool. He's, like, spugging the fuck out. It's so cool. Okay.
People together to go down to his house to kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most fucked up shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it. But I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of... Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so close to this fucking address. I had fucking streets mapped out and fucking you had no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting interest in, like, owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything. Holy fuck.
And when I saw that, it made my blood, like, curdle, and I kind of was, like, paralyzed in fear, and especially seeing some of his biggest supporters actively encouraging.
That's actually a good point, Dre's point. He didn't do it because he had too much to lose. That in itself destroys the necessity justification. Yeah. Literally, yeah. Like, obviously your income isn't being affected that badly then, is it? Because the whole point of killing him would be to protect that. But if killing him would actually destroy that, then killing him isn't even a good... Then obviously it was never a good tactic for the situation. And killing should not be... You know, a justified killing is not a killing where you feel good doing it. A justified killing is one where there is some, like, great harm being done that can only be... great unjust harm being done that can only be averted with the death of that person. That's like when killing is justified, to me, personally. So, like, you know, you've got the example of the old woman who's getting robbed repeatedly or can't get into a store or whatever, and has to use a firearm to be able to get control back. Obviously, that makes sense. So only it's forced to be a necessity. It's not that she has so much to lose and all this. No, she's going to lose everything unless she does this. Whereas in Destiny's case, it's yeah, he's saying that killing would actually destroy his business. So the argument is just fucking retarded. The argument is completely retarded.
Genius behavior, I thought was...
Like, he can make an argument about how, oh, I don't think it was, like, super unreasonable for me to feel that way. And, like, I would even be pliable to that. Like, if your income's being affected, yeah, I don't think it's necessarily unreasonable to have feelings of, like, I want to fucking kill this person. I don't necessarily think it's unreasonable to feel that way. But the idea that you've got some, like, righteous justification to actually carry out the act, that's totally insane. That does not seem to stack up with the characteristics of the situation that have been presented.
Was above and beyond. And so that's where, and so eventually after that, all communicate, I mean, blocked everything. My dad blocked emails, phones. We told the phone company to stop giving us random, like, phone calls.
No, he said very clearly, Waffle. He said, I can't remember if I had too much to lose because I was making too much money on Twitch at the time, or I can't remember if Nathan was involved or something. That's what he said. I was making too much money on Twitch at the time, and I can't remember if Nathan was involved or something as well. So I don't want to do it. But his first and foremost reasons, I was making too much money. I would have lost money by doing it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so close to this fucking address. I had fucking streets mapped out and fucking you have no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting interest in like owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything. Holy fuck.
And
you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most fucked up.
So, and then that bit as well. It would have just been him and his father, because I don't know anything about, and then he moves on. So he's claiming that he's almost trying to say there that he doesn't know anything about the rest of the family, and he's specifying only him and his father. I don't know anything about. But why are you bringing? If you don't know anything about the rest of his family, why are you bringing it up? So it lines up very well with what this is what I mean by seeing the gaps in like the story he's telling and the things he's saying that line up with the DDoS Kid story. So I honestly I do lean towards him making these insane phone calls.
Shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it, but I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of.
Yeah, I was making so much money on Twitch. I can't remember if Nathan was involved yet. And so I decided the current life I had wasn't worth the risk.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so close to this fucking address. I had fucking streets mapped out and fucking you have no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting interest in like owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything. Holy fuck.
And when I saw that, it made my blood
His justification for killing the dad was that the dad didn't stop the kid from DDoSing him.
curdle, and I kind of was like paralyzed in fear, and especially seeing some of his biggest supporters actively encouraging this behavior, I thought was above and beyond. And so that's where, and so eventually after that, all communicate. I mean, blocked everything. My dad blocked emails, phones. We told the phone company to stop giving us random like phone calls. I think we changed our number. And so I'll stop there and let you ask any questions that you may have.
Did you DDoS him after he contacted you at all the first time?
Yeah, I think I may have DDoSed him one time after. I did, yeah, because I wasn't sure if he was real, if this was somebody playing a prank, if this was somebody playing a prank, if he was serious, if this was for the channel. And so yeah, I did DDoS him one time after, but very quickly I learned that he was not pranking, he was not joking. So that's so I'm trying to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I'm not like I'm not absolved of all sins. I did do things wrong, and I did mishandle the situation on certain parts.
Do you remember how this affected you once you started taking him and his threats more seriously?
Okay, Moody Morgan, explain exactly what he's downplaying. Any part of what Tiny's saying is true. What part of what Tiny's saying would be true that would downplay a part of this guy's story? Please, explain. I want to hear your thought process, because it's fucking stupid, as always. We're sitting there and waiting. Please explain that last message to me. 100% you harass this kid, but also the kid is downplaying his actions. If any part of what Tiny's saying is true, Destiny's whole story can be true, and the kid can still not be downplaying his actions. Which part of Destiny's story, if true, would mean the kid is downplaying his actions? I didn't hear Destiny say, I lost income for months. Where it looks like this is a fail. Looks like this is a complete fail. Like, we've come up with nothing. We've come up with nothing. So, don't come back for the whole rest of the segment. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, like as I'm even talking right now, I know I'm not on camera, but like you can hear my voice, but like, he's like shaking. I'm actually still worried about what him and his community can do. They are very serious people. And I know that or at least in my opinion, I'm not a doctor, but he's got some kind of anger problem. And I have a stepbrother who has bipolar disorder. And when he gets angry, he kind of gets in these manic states. And it
was a 24-hour.
I like really do kind of like I felt like I was like, at any moment, like a kid being bullied at school, like you kind of are paralyzed in fear. And, even just talking about it, and I know it sounds so pussy and I get it, but it is legitimately nerve wracking, if you can understand.
Is it me or Mr. Girl seems kind of anemic? Dude, Max literally can't win with you people. It's crazy. This guy put on weight for a bit and was like, oh, Max is getting fat. Max looks like shit. Max looks like shit. He's getting fat. He's putting on weight. And he loses weight. Max looks anemic. This guy looks unwell. This guy looks anemic. This guy looks unwell. Dude, give the guy a fucking break.
I do, I think. Do you remember any specific effect it had on you at the time? Like, I don't know, any way that it was disruptive to you, or anything you had to do to kind of like cope with your fear?
Besides locking the door and, you know, obsessively kind of watching the stream and at night, and, you know, sneaking, you know, obsessively just making sure that he wasn't constantly talking about me, or that his fans weren't. Those were the two main things. But no, I didn't like.
He looks like he's not going to release a documentary this year. He gave the max casting guarantee that Shane Lane will come out this year. Okay, the book at least. The max casting guarantee.
During the daytime, I felt like I could relax more. I felt like I could. It would ease up, but yeah, at the nighttime, especially with the detailed plan that he lays out.
I'm gonna bet on that.
Yeah, it's definitely tense. Like, not sleeping. You know, is this really gonna happen? Did I really do this to my family? You know, I'm a fuck up. You know, I fucked up big time. I'm stupid. You know, all these things are kind of racing in my head, and I felt really awful. You know, I felt awful about what I did to my family. I felt awful about I felt awful about, you know, DDoSing and messing with them. I didn't know that this was, you know, I thought it was a prank. I messed with kids on Xbox before, and, you know, I thought it was like that, but not realizing that I was messing with somebody who I believe has some kind of anger, at least an anger problem. But one thing that I do think that like kind of gave me like kind of another thing that gave me reassurance for sure was my dad getting the gun, and for safety at the house, a shotgun.
Do you remember your family going to law enforcement at all?
I do believe my dad did contact the local police, and at the time, and the local police basically said that, you know, this is an out-of-state threat, and that, you know, unless he comes to the house, you know, there's not much they can do. They can they can file a report. So we did contact them, and basically they said, unless he comes on your property at this time, there's nothing that they could really do. They're not going to send a squad car out to my house, and they're not going to it seems to be it seemed to be based off the emails contained, you know, but at least for now. And that's kind of all. We didn't get much in the way of help of law enforcement at the time.
In Destiny's telling of this story, he says that when he was on the phone with you one time, he started sending you pictures over Skype of your sister. Do you remember that happening?
So, where is Max getting this from? I haven't heard that. So at one point, Destiny told this story, and he admits to sending this guy pictures of his sister over Skype. So I don't know if there's a clip of that or what. But that's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And that was like terrifying. That's kind of when it went from a joke to being dead, to like, oh, this guy is not effing around. I don't know if I can cuss, but not effing around, not playing around. Yeah, fucking around. He's deadly serious, and he really does know who I am and where I actively live. And, you know, even now, like I said, that's why I'm not on camera. But I did want to come forward and reach out and give my side.
Max said that Destiny said in the telling of the story that happened. Destiny had told the story where he sent this 15-year-old kid picture of his sister.
And like I said, I feel I am sorry for DDoSing you. I'm sure it was a nuisance, but I wasn't trying to destroy your income, or, you know, I think he said that I was trying to, you know, force him to live like in squalor. It would never reach that point, and not even close. So that was made up in his, either that's a lie or that was a delusion that he had. Sorry if I my voice sounds shaky. It's fucked up.
No, I know. No apology necessary.
Yeah. But yeah, I do appreciate. I want to say this. I do appreciate you taking the time to listen to my side of it. I know that the internet, you know, especially at the time, he was like a beloved figure. He would, he didn't have so many controversies, and so people felt like I was attacking this kind of, uh, this.
Okay, Nathan from MrGirl coming in to say the kid is white. We've okay. It's a white kid, guys. All right, the radar was off today.
This guy, and I was, I was trying to bait him, but I wasn't trying to, like I said, destroy him financially or, hurt him and his kid or anything like that.
I sent you a video where Destiny is debating a lawyer who goes by Pisco about the ethics of this plan to kill you.
Right.
And I think the debate took
White
place
is the
in
last race, I would have
2022.
guessed.
I think either 2022 or 2023. I don't remember which.
Yeah.
Well, that's just unintelligent statistically, really, isn't it?
That just adds credibility, I think, to my belief that this is some kind of delusion, that he can find a way to morally justify his actions, like somebody with bipolar, like I said, my stepbrother had, who, his brother died tragically in a suicide, and he believes he can, destroy things, cars, punch holes in the wall, and he can it's all justified to him. I didn't even know about it until you sent it to me, and shocking to hear it. I don't even know how to add words to it. You just have to listen for yourself.
The video was posted April 4th, 2023. How did it feel? To be clear, you're saying the delusion is that from your point of view, you're playing a prank because you're a 15-year-old and you just felt like playing a prank and trying to make somebody mad and then laughing at their reaction. Kind of excessive trolling, maybe kind of a form of harassment because you are interrupting his ability to do his job. But
sure, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But the goal is to laugh at him getting mad, basically. And you're
100%.
You're saying the delusion is that he believes you're trying to destroy him, and so therefore he has to destroy you.
Yes, yeah. Okay. And I don't know if that's in the notes there that you have in front of you, but that is a quote that he said to me, either to me or on live stream, that was my plan. My plan was to starve him out, cause him so much internet disruption that his child and he would starve to death, which is.
Bro, please don't tell me this is why the game took a fucking hour to re-download. Please don't tell me that they had to put in new versions of every fucking Rivals male model in the game because they made the asses bigger on male characters. Dude, please tell me this isn't why the update was 40 gigabytes. Holy fuck, man. Dude. Oh, wait. They finally added more bullets? Wait, where is it? They added more bullets? Punisher in Season 2 be like...
Whoa, a lot of protein, sir. Let's go to the gym, buddy. Let's go to the gym, buddy. Aliens, they will know my power. I need more bullets.
Season 2 Punisher be like...
I need more bullets. Bigger weapons. I need more bullets. Whoa, thanks for the protein, sir. Watch me ride that horse, sir. Hasta la vista, baby. No, that is a weapon. No, that is a weapon.
Which is, that's unrealistic. I mean, wasn't that qualified. And it's not a realistic, it's not realistic.
The you said the upper limit is 10 times you think you might have DDoSed him. Would that have been spread out over 10 different days, or there?
Thank you, Crantic.
What's up, bro? Nothing. What? Why are you telling me to add you on Skype? Are you fucking retarded? Like, sometimes, like, you sound kind of like a badass sometimes when you talk. Like, you sound obviously smarter than the Jacob kid. But then you say stupid shit. Like, I hear, like, you're getting mad that you... And I'm like, no way, dude. I just wanted to talk to your dad, or maybe your brother Jeremy, or your sister Emma. And he's like, dude, that's not even, like, my family. And I was like, oh, are you sure, dude? And he's like, yeah, man. I was like, oh, really? And so I started sending him pictures over Skype of his sister. Like, I guess on the volleyball team. I got a ton of information on this kid. Like,
The volleyball pictures.
and I was like, oh, are you sure, dude? And he's like, yeah, man. I was like, oh, really? And so I started sending him pictures over Skype of his sister. Like, I guess on the volleyball team. I got a ton of information on this kid. Like, I know more about his family than I know about mine. It's pretty funny. So he's like, whatever, dude. So you can Google my name. Like, congrats, you're pro. And I was like, so when's your mom or dad going to be home? And he's like, it doesn't even matter. Like, I'm going to block all numbers, including internet numbers and out-of-state numbers, so you won't even be able to reach this number. And I was like, okay, dude, I don't really think that's possible, and I also don't think it's advisable, too. I mean, if your family ever uses your phone. But I also left a message on your brother Mark's answering machine and your brother Peter's answering machine. So, I mean, regardless, I mean, somebody's going to call me back. And he's like, yeah, right, whatever, dude. You don't have anybody's phone numbers. And I was like, okay. So I was like, are your parents going to be home, like, at 5 or 6 o'clock? Like, I'm just curious, like, what's going on? And he's like, yeah, man, they'll be back then, so why don't you call? It's on. And so he hangs up, and about 30 minutes later, I get a phone call, and I pick up, and it's his landline number again. And I get a phone call, and it's like, who am I speaking to right now? I'm like, this is Stephen Bonnell. Who am I speaking to? He's like, this is Wayne. We need to talk. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, I really want to talk to you. And he's like, can you tell me what exactly is going on here? And I'm like, your son has been destroying my internet connection over the past 2 months. And so, like, right after I said that, he was like, okay, listen up, okay? I don't know who you are. I don't want you calling my family. I told my son to knock this shit off 2 weeks ago, and I don't know why he's still messing around with us or whatever, but I don't want you ever contacting us again or posting our Facebooks or whatever, and I guarantee you my son is going to leave you alone, and he'll never talk to you again. You'll never hear from him again. Just stop calling us. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. So that was the end of that. And I haven't gotten DDoS yet. Over the past few days.
Okay, so here he specifies it's several months. It's been several months. He's destroying his internet connection over several months. So that's the discrepancy here. So this guy says that less than 10 times total. Less than 10 times total they kicked him offline. Destroying your internet connection over several months. What I'm thinking there is like it's like daily. It's like at least 3 times a week. At least 3 times a week, and I would expect it to be happening multiple times in a day sometimes. Right? You're probably connecting... Yeah, exactly. It's possible he's conflating multiple DDoSes and shit like that, so it's even hard to tell if... Even if what Destiny was saying here is untrue, it's hard to even tell if it's like a lie, or like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know how to unpick this, to be honest. I don't know how to unpick the truth of what exactly happened in the DDoSing thing, because it's not like we have any fucking connection logs or any shit like that, right? But fundamentally, I think even if it was over months, the argument about the murder being justified is totally retarded, and he constantly leaves out the fact that he was harassing this kid over the phone, saying the rape stuff. If that's true, obviously.
Is it multiple times per day? Like,
yeah. So yeah. So like, let's say the first, let's say the first time I did it, I might have done it twice in a day, because I think.
Have you seen the Emma Frost skin? I own the Emma Frost skin. I bought the battle pass and the skin when I woke up.
I'm trying to remember this as correctly as I can. I think the first time he didn't know what was happening, and so he went offline, and then he came back online, and it was like, that was weird. Like, internet went out, and then I did it again, and then he's, then it was like, somebody's DDoSing me. And so, and it was already getting kind of late at that point for me. Went to bed, and then I did it. I would say two more times, spread out. Because I didn't want. I only had access to so many botnets, and you can overstress them. This is like a technical point, but you could overstress them, and it wasn't my farm, my IRC chat. So like, I could have got booted off there if I was like abusing. So So like I spread it out over like
Yeah,
let's
exactly.
call it-
Destiny was disproportionate in his arguments about killing being justified here are fucking stupid once you actually know the full scope of this stuff and how it works. However, I will say that my sympathy for someone who goes around doing fucking DDoSing and then gets threats back is near zero. It's like, yeah, you're both doing illegal harassment against each other. Maybe don't do that. I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
like the first time 2 days, and then let's say 2 or 3 days later. So like 2 days later I do it again, and then a day later I do it again, and then I believe the final time, and like I said, there could give or take 1 or 2 of these, and then the final time I think was after he called me, and was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I know who the fuck you are. And I was like, yeah. And then he gets back online later. And
he was 16 when it happened.
I hit him off again then, and he was back on within 30 minutes. And then that's when the Skype messages, came. And that's when or maybe the day after the Skype messages came. That's my full recollection of it.
So here's the thing, is like your DDoS. Okay, so it's 2011. You're a 16-year-old DDoSing someone, and they start threatening to rape and kill you in response. Like, yeah, that sounds like 2011 internet, to be honest. Like, that doesn't sound... Like, I know that sounds crazy now. But back then, not really, I don't think.
Time that I did it.
Do you remember how your friends, like in the...
The crazy part is the idea that Destiny was genuinely entertaining the idea of killing this kid.
You said it's an IRC group?
Right. Yeah.
Do you remember how they reacted to this? Or, I mean,
I do. The only reaction in that group was that one of the members, I think it's the one that leaked my IP to him. He was kind of just like, "Hey man, stop it. We're getting some heat on the internet," and that was
true. Actually, I'm chastising this guy for trying to kill baby Hitler right now. Listen.
That was the only message that I read.
Maybe at the point.
This was not the
maybe
top
at the
member.
point.
He was not. He was kind of like like a rung above me. So if I was a private, he would have been like a corporal, just right above me. And so he was just kind of like, "Yo, bro, chill out." We're catching heat online, and that was sort of it. I'm not sure if anybody else was aware of it, not to my knowledge at least.
Was part of your goal in DDoSing him to impress the other people in the group, or have them think it's funny?
If I got clips, yeah, but at that time,
killing baby Hitler without time travel is just
and
homicide. What if you had a what if you had a really bad feeling? What if you really felt like that was going to be baby Hitler?
But no, mainly I think it was purely just for my enjoyment, because I didn't want to get abused. I didn't want to get kicked. The main reason for the server was to kind of teach young people basically how this group that I got into was I met these people on Halo, and they were doing some of these cheats. We'll just call them cheats, and I thought it was really impressive. And
classic lag switching and DDoSing people on Halo. Classic 2010 vibes. 2010 vibes. Lag switching people in Halo lobbies. Let's freaking go. That's huge. Days of future passing myself to the DDoS kid. So guys, now is a great time to remind you, okay? 500 people watching, 81 likes on stream, some almost 420 or so people. Wouldn't mind, please, moving their cursor, thumbs up, and clicking it. Pressing a thumbs up on the mobile device. That would be hugely appreciated. Now, if you want to take your support even further, you can donate directly. The stream elements link in the pin chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat. Buy a super chat, which will highlight your message or read it out on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF that will be highlighted in chat, and I'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you.
One of the top guys, one of the co-founders, I talked to him, and he kind of, euphemism, took me under his wing. I mean, we weren't that close, but kind of took me under his wing and was like,
yo,
hey.
Thank you, Liberal Chad, for the 5 gifted memberships. Hugely appreciated. Thank you.
If you're interested, I can actually show you how this is done and how we do this. And so what we would do is we would link up on Xbox and play Halo, and then we would, join up a team of 4, And then if like we were playing against a team that was if we were like level 50 in MLG, which is like the tough Halo ranked version. Level 50 is the max. So you would play against
guys,
people like
bullets,
and these guys who are legitimate pros.
Okay.
And so like if you started getting beat by them, you could kick one of them or two of them offline and win the match, which is that was really the main purpose of the server. It wasn't really to to like mess with online figures as much. Not as far as I know. That was like the main reason of it. He also taught me like other things, like fishing, man in the middle attack, stuff like very basic, like stuff that you can learn in 10 seconds on YouTube now.
Had you done any of these other kinds of attacks before?
No.
Destiny?
No, never. I wasn't advanced enough. I had been on the server, let's say call it 6 months, and like I didn't want to like annoy anybody, so like logging on to the server was sporadic. Like I might log on for like a week and then like not be on for like a month and then like log back on. Mainly when this top guy was on, I was on, and I think he was in college or just about like I think he just started college at the time or I think or something.
I mean, yeah, this is what I expect from a 2011 16-year-old DDoSer. This is about how I expect it to have gone. I doubt if anyone like cares or thinks this would be any different to exactly how it sounds right now. It kind of sounds like he was groomed by a hacker, low-key. Well, this is just how the internet was back then, though. You would bump into people on Call of Duty or Halo who had hacks or cheats or whatever, and then they would show you how to do it, or they would sell them to you, or whatever the fuck. And that's how people got into doing like retarded script kiddie shit, right? I remember, I remember being like, how old would I have been? Like 12 or 13, playing Minecraft. Actually, maybe even 14, and DDoSing friends who had Minecraft servers set up. Fuck with them. Like that was just common. There was like that retarded like that shitty like free DDoS software. You got their IP, you could just run it. Fuck with them. Yeah, LOIC, that's it. What is it? Low orbit something cannon. Low orbit ion cannon. That's it. Thank you. Yeah. Classic stuff. That's like just literally retarded. Like, it is the most like low effort dipshit like fucking around on the internet. And this is just how it was.
Or something like that. It was like the summer before, or he started college, and so like at first I was more regular, and then as he started college and got a real life, he was off more, so he was offline more, so there was less reason for me to get on. Yeah.
You mentioned that someone in the group leaked your IP.
Right, and that's my theory. I don't have evidence of that, but okay. It was just a message on like the main channel, like hey who, like they didn't even know it was me particularly. It was like, hey, whoever's booting Destiny, stop. I think that was like the gist of it, like, or like chill out. Hmm. That was the gist of the message.
And that gave you the sense that he may have given Destiny your IP.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure because if he had more access to the server, and so he could have pulled easily. I mean, since I was logged onto an IRC. He could have easily, pulled it if he assumed it was me, which I'm pretty sure he did. But I don't have proof. He never confronted me after that, and there was never a conversation after that.
Did you ever DDoS anybody else after?
Not a public figure. No. I continued like when I was playing Halo at the time. I did like do that for a little bit longer. I think maybe. I'll say maybe a year longer just to win games of Halo. But like, not like repeated attacks, just like to get somebody like a quick, stall their modem, they lag out of the game and stop the attack. And that was maybe like a year of that on and off, not super regular.
Any other hacking or phishing?
No, not at the time. No.
After?
Yeah, later on in later on in my college days, but not like more classwork and stuff, but never to anybody to steal or scam their information. No, I was in cybersecurity classes. So.
Do you remember what made you stop kind of using these tools maliciously? I mean, not that
Yeah,
I understand you're saying you're using to cheat in a video game, so it's not super malicious, but
well, he's not really. He says in cybersecurity classes, right? It wasn't criminal stuff.
Slightly
get
malicious.
it is like, yeah, I get it. We're the bad guys of the internet. That was kind of our MO. Like there was people posting on forums, which I don't know if I want you to give out that post yet, but just because it has, yeah. But yeah, it was kind of the bad boys of the internet, which kind of cool. But yeah.
No, it is crazy how Max is able to just like stare into his camera, just constantly. He just like literally will just his resting face is just like this intentful stare at his camera. Okay, man.
Kind of stopped using it because the game died, and then and once you like achieve that level, you're kind of like, what's the point? And then you're just afraid of losing it, and then as you get older, it's just you kind of realize that's like it's dumb, it's not worth it. And then games also got better about protecting IP. Like you couldn't pull IPs in later Halo games. Like even if I wanted to, I couldn't do it the way I was doing it. So I would have had to like dot on to like a Skype server with somebody and done it like that or something. But, yeah. So no, yeah, just kind of like just like the gaming scene changed. I got older, just realized it was childish, stupid. It was my street cred, quote unquote. If that makes sense. Dumb.
I think that's all my questions. Is there anything else you want to say or bring up?
Yeah, I'll just say this. To anybody listening, thank you for listening to my story, and give a follow to Max. He seems like a decent guy. I hope not to regret that. I'm just kidding.
Have you looked into him?
But I think I just wanted people to know my story.
And watch his other content.
Usually
that puts people off.
Destiny is for real. Like when he doesn't like you, he really goes full bore, and he will try to hurt you. And even if he can't hurt you, he will threaten you and intimidate you and harass you. And I know I'm not innocent. I know that, but the escalation I thought was very unnecessary and quite very frightening, especially being a teenager. And again, I want to say to Destiny, if you're listening, I am sorry about sorry that I did do that to you. And I hope that your life goes and everything works out for you. I know that you're currently struggling with some kind of a cancellation, but best of luck to you, and best of luck to everybody in the audience and to you, Max.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers to Destiny in this trying time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks for talking.
Thoughts and prayers to Destiny,
Hold on,
guys.
he's mixing a vodka tonic.
Okay.
Oh, and now he's got his dad coming on. Let's go.
All right, here you go.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for talking to me. All right. Are you okay with me recording the audio for this conversation?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, great. Okay, so I've gotten the story from a few different sources. So I'm interested to hear kind of your side and how this ordeal affected you. That's really my main question.
Well, my son was young at the time, and he's very smart. He's always been interested in computers, and a little background on him. When he was in 8th grade, he was able to hack into his teacher's laptop, and when he would come in and turn it on, put it on the overhead for the class, had gone in and had the Playboy channel. So when he pushed a button, that's what would come up in the class. So mischievous. Never did anything really, gotten any kind of legal troubles, never been arrested. But he was into this kind of stuff, and he's big into gaming. And he told me about this guy that he had beaten or he had played or he knew about that was real good. And something happened with DDoSing, direct denial of service, and maybe a disagreement. I don't know the whole story, but I didn't pay much attention to it. But in the middle of the night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, my phone would ring. I don't even know how he got a hold of my number, but he did some background information. had used some accurate
Okay,
information
for a
that was
second,
out there on the
come
web, I guess. And he would call and he would cuss and he would tell me that he was going to take care of my son, and he would appreciate what he was doing, and it was costing him money because
When
he
you
was
say
making
take care,
money
when
with
you
the
say
game.
take care of,
Well, he actually threatened his
gonna
life
adopt
at
him.
one point, and that's when that was about the third or fourth phone call, and that's when I really got upset. And at first I thought he's a really deranged teenager, and then I learned from that he was actually older than my son, and he actually threatened his life. He said he was coming to see us, and so I got really concerned. So I called the police the next morning and filed a report because I said if he shows up at the house, I'm going to defend myself and defend my family. And I said I want it on the record, and I understand why something can't be done. And he said, well, he's out west or Midwest or somewhere, and he's so far away, so it's just out of our jurisdiction. And I said, well, he recorded me and put it on the internet. I cussed him pretty bad, and he recorded all of it and put it on the internet. And so I became kind of semi-famous at the time. I was called the DDoSer's dad, and the certain crowd of gamers that followed him laughed and played my video over and over, me getting so mad. And he kept making remarks, what a fool I was, and the phone calls continued. And then I get a phone call from this guy that I told you about, the tattoo artist. He owns the tattoo parlor, and I didn't quite understand at first. I think he thought my son had something to do with harassing his son, and with the gaming. And I explained to him what had happened, and he said, now I understand. He said, actually, my son goes to school with your daughter. He said, that's how I, made the connection because we have an unusual last name. So he wanted me to come see him, and I went over and explained to him what he had done. I said, he's aggravating my son. He's calling me in the middle of the night, waking us up, threatening us. It actually came to the point of threatening our lives. He's recorded me, put it out there on the internet, and it doesn't seem like there's anything I could do. And he says, well, he's done that or more to my son. And he says, and I'm tired of it. He said, I'm afraid of him. And he says, I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And I told you the other night how he...
Okay, so unless the dad's in on this complex lie as well, it does sound like Destiny was basically just a complete fucking impulsive retard schizo, as usual, and was literally calling the wrong kid for some amount of time. So, he said he's done that and worse to my son. So, Destiny plays it like it was going on for months, right? Like, it was going for, his internet kept getting taken down. No matter how much he called this kid's dad, he couldn't get it to stop. Do we even know that Destiny wasn't literally calling the wrong fucking house like an extended period of time and then just acts like that whole time he was calling the kid and his dad? Because, like, that seems totally possible based on what I'm fucking hearing here.
He was going to take care of it with some biker friends or something silly like that. And I'm not into all of that, but I said, well, it would be nice if he got a message to stay away from us. As I said, I don't play. And I don't know what else to say about it. After that, I never heard any more. That was it really scared me. It was the first time we'd ever had an incident where somebody that is online that my kids came in contact with started actually threatening us and threatening our lives and threatened to come to my house. So it scared us pretty bad. So we got a security system. I had a shotgun in the house, kept our eyes out, and opened it. Never heard anything else from it.
It sounds like you did not take it to be an empty threat.
No, I did not. That's why I called the police.
Have you seen any of the videos where he's defending this plan to kill you and your son?
My son briefly showed me a little bit of it about how he claims that he was so close to getting a gun, or he had a gun, and he was on the way. That's the only one I've seen.
There's another one where
it's
he...
pretty scary to know that these days that was out there, that he was saying that. I had no idea.
Yeah, he's... ever since then, he's maintained that it was his right to self-defense to murder you and your son because of the DDoS attacks.
What's been done about him? Anything? Do you know anything about where he's legally law enforcement has been after him, or is he just out there running around still doing it?
He's had a number of, I guess, scandals throughout his career, as you can imagine, from this behavior. Most recently, he's been accused of secretly recording sex with women and then sending the recordings to other women who he doesn't even know.
Right. Has he been arrested? Is he under investigation?
He hasn't been arrested. My understanding is that a police report has been filed, but this was just last week.
Okay.
Oh, so he's like a
pretty
month
scary.
or two old now.
Yes.
Cool.
He's a scary
He
person.
is. You're saying he's still out there carrying a grudge and revenge all these years.
I mean, he's got a lot of perceived enemies, as you could imagine, people who he feels have wronged him, and who he's basically got seemingly has a mental list of his enemies. I don't think he thinks about you or your son much, but when it is brought up as, you know, a character flaw that, you know, you plan to kill a teenager. I think he was 22 at the time, so, you know, all these years ago, you plan to murder a teenager and his father because the kid, you know, as a prank blocked your internet. And but even as recently as 2023, he had a lawyer on who's also a streamer to debate him about the ethics of that, and he stands by it.
This is scary that nothing's been done. This is the kind of thing you hear they discuss about these school shooters and random, you know, mass shootings.
Yeah, that there was some obvious sign.
media.
He's like Elliot
Yeah, they have a
Roger.
media history, and if
He's like
people
Elliot Roger.
had noticed, they would have seen these things coming.
Yeah.
It's a shame we can't get somebody to pay attention and take action.
Destiny is
Before he
just
does
like the
hurt somebody.
archetypal incel shooter.
Well, I think
This guy would have just fucking taken a Glock to the Chads and Stacys if he hadn't stopped cleaning carpets. 100%. You know this guy would have snapped and stuck it to the Stacys.
current allegations and a police report filed against him will likely I don't know what'll happen, but it seems like somebody might take some action. But yeah, it's surprising that he can behave this way so publicly, and YouTube, you know, he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year on YouTube. And
Yeah, see, I guess it's never come this close to home, but I hear about it all the time with the school shootings and people saying, well, if you see something, say something. If you know something, tell somebody.
Mhm.
But apparently that hasn't done any good. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you getting on it. You're a reporter, or you're trying to gather information.
I'm a streamer who I worked with him without knowing these stories for about 8 months. And then I started to, when I first started working with him, some of the audience said, oh, you should look into this Anna thing. There's this streamer named Anna. And I asked him about it, and he said, oh, she's just this crazy girl, ignore her. And to my shame, I did. I just kind of, and I kept hearing more and more stories about things he had done, but he comes off as likable enough, and it's fun working with him, and I was making good money. And it took several months before I was like, you know, I actually don't think you're such a good guy. And then I started really looking into his past and all these stories I'd heard, and they're all pretty horrifying. But the one about you and your son, I think, is particularly egregious, I think.
Was the FBI been notified, or is it to that? It should be to that point. They should know. There's a nut out there that.
My understanding is that he contacted the FBI to try to get them to stop your son from DDoSing him at the time. I doubt he told them that he planned to murder him, though. So I know that
to rape his sister.
They were aware of the case on
his
some
mother.
level, but I
And record it.
From what you guys have said, I don't think you contacted the FBI. So about this incident, I don't think they would know. No.
That's all I have to add.
No, that's great. That's all I wanted to know.
That's just my version of what happened. And
that's all I wanted. So that's perfect. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Wow. Awesome stuff. Now, guys, I'm extra generous. Okay, I'm in a giving kind of mood right now. So, guys, I'm gonna... First of all, we'll chill. Momentarily. We'll chill. First of all. So, guys, please. Okay, I'm about to give you something extra here. Alright, I'm about to throw you a little extra. So, guys, this shill is really important, so we need to really listen to this shill. 478 people watching. 100 likes on stream. Some of those 380 people wouldn't mind, please, moving their cursor to thumbs up and clicking it, or pressing a thumbs up on your mobile device. That would be hugely appreciated. Now, if you want to take your support one step further, which would be hugely appreciated, you can donate directly through the Stream Elements link in the pinned chat message. You can also buy a membership to the channel, gift a membership to the channel, or gift a whole bunch of memberships randomly throughout the chat. Buy a super chat which will highlight your message and read it on TTS, or buy a super sticker, which is a YouTube image or GIF that'll be highlights in chat, and I'll describe it to you. You can go to discord.gg/Kuihman, twitter.com/Kuihman, or reddit.com/r/Kuihman. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, guys, Jay Stalk watched this last night, okay? Jay Stalk watched this video last night. And then MrGirl went on his stream. Now, MrGirl went on Jay Stalk's stream because Jay Stalk initially wasn't going to cover this. But then, MrGirl showed up in his chat and said, oh, I'll cover the DDoS Kid thing. And Jay Stalk said, okay, but if I cover it, you have to jump on and do a Q&A after. And MrGirl replied, deal. Thank you for the $5.
Very generous.
And thank you for the stream elements, Dono. Thank you, huge appreciated. So, MrGirl jumps on. Is it here? Where is it? Yeah. So he says in chat, he asks Jay Stalk to cover it. And then Jay Stalk DMs him. Is like, hey, can you jump on? Can you jump on? I'm done. And then MrGirl's like, oh, what? Jump in the call? Jay Stalk's like, yeah. So MrGirl joins.
He thought I needed more time. He's been waiting for me. My bad. I said, yeah, 2 seconds. That was the last.
Okay, I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I realized I'm a little tired. It was 8 hours on stream, but I realized I was not clear when I looked. I'm like, where the fuck is this guy? And then, yeah, it was.
I thought you were gonna like tell me. I didn't know what 2 seconds literally meant. 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was not clear at all.
How's it going?
Decent. How about you?
Decent. Still alive. Just despite the stochastic terrorism.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess you got the same thing. Hey, I hope somebody kills these people.
Yeah. It's like he's literally trying to kill you. I think more you than me, but still.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's stressful.
It's like not in the top 3 most stressful things going on in my life, so it kind of just gets put in the back burner. It's like really realistically, there's a lot of other things I don't have to deal with at all if he does kill me. So like, yeah, I'm kind of just joking, but
kind of not.
No, it's just mostly I have like a lot of responsibility with like other things going on in my life, and
okay, I've got to kind of spoil this a bit. I'm going to spoil this a little bit for you guys. Okay, because I think it might be funnier if you know. So when MrGirl was in Jay Stalk's chat asking him to watch the video that he would do a Q&A, that account was called MrGirl. MrGirl's kick account is called MrGirl Returns. Max doesn't realize he's on stream right now. He thought Jay Stalk was trying to call him off stream to vent about stuff, I believe, because he said, "Can we talk? I'm done." Okay, so that's what's happening here.
And having to like
we were talking about that last time
with like that shit, and it's like there's just a lot of stuff going on. So, hey, sometimes it feels like a lot, but it's okay. Managing to get back
it don't sound okay.
More, so, well, it'll be okay because I am very good at taking anything that bothers me and shoving it down into a deep, dark pit. And that pit is never plumbed, and we never talk about it or think about it, and that's actually worked my entire life. Most of the time, I'm pretty happy.
I think that the pit is starting to fill up, though. Is the problem?
No, the pit.
Isn't this great?
Is actually forever sinking. The issue is that sometimes it's not got a lot of bandwidth. So if there's a lot of stuff going on, then it's shitty. But as soon as a lot of stuff's not going on, it's actually all.
So just think, you've got to try and picture this, right? Because Max is like he always is quite an empathetic guy, and whether you believe that or not, personally, I believe it. I think Max is quite an empathetic guy. I think he is a very caring. If someone tells him, "Oh, I feel like shit and I'm stressed and I'm pushing everything down," and that's like an offline conversation between him and someone else, he's going to be like, oh, well, are you sure you're okay? Are you all right? Do you want to talk about that at all? That's how he's going to be. So Jay Stuck is saying like some of this is like kind of tongue in cheek for a little bit for the audience. Like he's probably a little bit stressed about stuff and he's doing some of it for the audience, sort of joking around. But Max is going to be reading this as an offline conversation. So all this shit Jay Stuck say, I'm pushing it all down and all this shit, that's all going to seem completely serious.
Fine. And now there's like not a lot of stuff going on, so we're all good.
Okay. You're not concerned about where all this stuff is going. It's just how quickly it can be sucked down.
Yeah, basically.
Or stuffed down.
Yeah, we just ignore and move forward. It's awesome.
Yeah, I used to do that. I still do it sometimes. I used to do it with everything.
Did it ever catch up to you, or have you mostly been fine as a result?
It caught up to me and I got divorced and lost all my friends.
Oh, crazy. Well, luckily, I don't have a wife! Checkmate!
Yeah. Well, me neither. So.
Based.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna ask you about your interview here. Couple questions.
Oh, yeah. The DDoS Kid?
Yeah, when was it? When did it take place? Because you said... Yeah, I wasn't sure
Yeah,
exactly where you were.
I think it was, February. I think it was early February, something like that.
Okay. Why did it take you a while to end up posting it?
So now Jay Stuck's doing like stream questions now. These like questions are obviously for stream. But Max thinks, I'm pretty sure he still thinks this is offline.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we're live on stream. Yeah, we're live on stream.
Oh, we are?
So
Oh, we're live?
Wait, did you literally not know that we were live? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know we were live. Well, I'm using my shitty mic. I'm like in bed. Wait, we're live?
How did you not know that we were live? Jesus, that could have gotten a lot deeper. I was like memeing the whole time and laughing. I'm sorry, you were watching the stream. You watched me like watch the interview on stream, or you knew I did. So it's like, oh, he must know that we're live.
I had no idea. Well, no, I didn't watch you on the stream. Did somebody impersonate me?
Oh, wait. Did somebody goof me? Okay, yeah.
I think there's
a MrGirl in Kick Chat. There's a MrGirl in Kick Chat. Somebody came in and was like, oh, could you please watch the interview? I was like, fine. But then I messaged her and I was like, oh. Yeah. It
was like, you were like, okay. You and I messaged each other about talking at the end of your stream like weeks ago. And then you were like, I'll let you know when I'm done. And then it didn't hear from me for like 3 weeks or something. And then you're like, okay, I'm done. Yeah. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, I guess we can talk. Like, I'm fine with talking now, but, and we were going to just like talk. I didn't realize you were still, I didn't realize you were still broadcasting. I thought you were like, content. Oh, that's fine. Like, I'm like, ow,
probably
please stop
is
biting
fine,
me.
but
hey, stop biting
He's fighting his cats, dude.
You're still broadcasting. I thought you were like, oh, that's fine. Like, I'm like, ow, please stop biting me.
But
hey, stop biting me. So yeah, I can't tell you why it took me until now. I'll say, Jesus Christ. You thought I DM'd you asking, you thought I was in chat asking you to watch my own content?
Yeah. I was like, oh, that might be a thing.
Do you think I don't know. What person do you think I am? Right, hey, I'm switching to my mic. 1 second.
Okay, alright. Well, thank God. That could have gotten crazy.
Jason got this guy out of bed for this.
I thought he had both accounts. I've seen both accounts and like they've kind of been in parallel, but it's fine. That was some dude named MrGirl. Yeah, it wasn't MrGirl Returns. I thought you had both. Admit that I weren't.
Skip.
Anyway, the answer is that I was fact checking some stuff.
Hold on. Okay, no, we can still get you. You're fact checking some stuff. Yeah, like there was verification going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to talk about how you verified, or you can't talk about how you verified at all?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it, but I just wanted to make sure that generally the story was. I know like a lot of it's like memory, and so there like isn't like a absolute truth to get to, but I just wanted to check what I could.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Cool. Oh, Prawn says, thank you for the raid, by the way. Yeah, okay. What else was going on in here? Did you listen to some of the old stuff? Some of the old calls they had and shit?
Not recently. I did when I wrote the Destiny report. I listened to all of it.
Okay. Did you get this one? The entire Destiny DDoS Kid arc?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you ever find the call with the dad? Was that recorded anywhere?
I don't remember. I kind of remember hearing it at some point. But I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember if I just am remembering the email or an actual conversation.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious if the dad's call was in there, because he was like, oh, well, you put me on the internet and I was cussing and stuff. I just thought that would be funny.
It would be.
Yeah. The kid definitely was cocky back then. Destiny seemed fairly convinced that he was 19. Was he not 16? Am I misremembering these ages?
Destiny was convinced he was 19, but he was 16.
That is accurate?
I believe Destiny said he was 19 at the time, but he was actually 16.
Okay. Because even here it says still that he was 19.
Where?
The Destiny wiki says he was 19.
Oh. Yeah, I never
got the impression from Destiny telling the story that he was not a high schooler. I could have sworn from Destiny telling the story that he seemed like a high schooler or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know, but he was 16. That I am sure of.
All right. What else is there? Do you know how old this is?
Well, yeah, it's awkward as fuck because Jay Stuck thought that MrGirl wanted to come on, and you didn't. And so I assume that Jay Stuck was probably thinking, like, MrGirl's going to have stuff to talk about here, but now Jay Stuck's, like, scrambling for questions, trying to come up with things to ask. And MrGirl didn't actually want to come in and talk about it. So it's like his answers are kind of like, you know, it's like, yeah, he's got answers, but they're not fleshed out. Like, you know, he's not got some story to tell with it or anything. So it's just like the most stunted shit in the world.
No.
Hey, because Destiny was like, oh, I listened to a clip. Well, you listened to a clip on stream where he's like, yeah, he sent pictures of his sister on the volleyball team to him. And I'm like, the college volleyball team, right? The college volleyball team?
No.
We were talking about raping a minor?
I believe she was in high school. That's my understanding.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Based? Not really, but hey.
Have you been doing call-ins or debates with people defending it?
Defending the DDoS Kid?
Defending,
I think,
threatening to rape his sister and murder him, and planning to murder him.
Basically, all of those people used to defend a lot of the conduct. They don't show up anymore. They get put in YouTube videos and made fun of. And then
hey, then you're playing a dangerous game there, bro.
Yeah.
You haven't got many chats left.
We've run out
careful.
of our supply of what we affectionately refer to as the cognitively raped now. There just aren't that many.
I think someone on my subreddit coined the term planticizing to defend Destiny. I think he was just planticizing. That was a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. The dad didn't bring up the rape at all in the call? The rape threat? I mean, what did he say?
Implication
I don't
the
think
rape
so.
threat was made to the
but I mean,
son, but
didn't Destiny himself say that he said these things? It's confirmed by both sides.
he said sent the pictures.
The only thing I remember is him saying that he sent him pictures of his sister while he was talking to him. So
yeah,
I think it's reasonable to assume that was accompanied with a threat of some kind, but I don't know.
Father had stoic redneck vibes, so he might have just felt it was too awkward to mention out loud, to be fair.
Funk, MrGirl, and underage rape. Another J-Still classic.
I did think it was weird that the other dad he talked about, and he didn't really go into this, said like, oh, I think they were going to threaten him with like a biker gang or some shit. And then he just never followed up. But then he was like, but then the threat stopped, so I don't care anymore. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably an awkward thing to bring up about your daughter. It might be.
No, I think I have, like, is this like an ADHD, like, symptom or something? There's something wrong with me. When you type, like, it's the same thing with Sonic Unleashed and with Marvel Rivals. When you type, dog, if I had you, I'd kill myself, I want to go listen to that Kanye song. Like, I'm like, dude, I gotta hear that song. Is that an what is happening where one mention of something just triggers this, like, urge to, like, have to go and consume that piece of media?
I don't know. I guess they both maintain the story that there were like two different families with the same weird last name that Destiny called both. And then there seem to be some people who are also just like faking this or like fucking with Destiny, right? Calling it on Skype and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. Kingler, I didn't get this impression, but I can ask for you. So Kingler wants me to ask. He thought you were kind of like messing with this old man, that this old man like didn't realize that Destiny doesn't really think about
oversharing yet again.
He was concerned that maybe you gave this guy the impression that Destiny was still thinking about killing him. I thought you said it was mostly him not really thinking about them, but defending the idea. But
Yeah. I think they got the sense that it had just been brought up as part of like general criticisms about Destiny's conduct, and that he was defending. I think there's a weird thing where, even at the time, they probably didn't think he was like totally serious, and then seeing him later for no reason later on, like in a video, saying, I was actually so close. Well,
so Max, be real. Bully sucks. Okay, listen. I understand people want to like it because epic Nazi music. It sucks. It's not good.
It's scary how close I was to getting people.
The guy, Kanye is completely kirked.
Together to go kill him and his family. You've seen that video where he says that, right? Oh, it's in the. I put it in the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're saying overrated. It's not just overrated. It blows. It really blows.
It's the kind of thing where, at the time, you're like, oh, this person's crazy, and then a couple years later, you find out like, oh, they actually were literally planning to kill me, and then finding out even still he's defending that like defending like literally killing him. So yeah. I don't think they felt like, oh, I'm like immediately like afraid of this, but I think it's still like unnerving.
Oh, my friends are great this.
I'm wondering who. So there seems to be a big discrepancy on the prevalence and persistence and timescale of these things. So like he said 10 times, I DDoSed him 10 times in total, and then basically Destiny says there was tons of like it was months and months and months of his income getting fucked with, and that he was basically.
Kanye having like a messiah complex was fine. It's a galaxy gas that really fucked him. That's the problem. That dentist gave him the galaxy gas.
Borderline destitute.
Yeah, I don't know. I do think there is, having been involved in some conflict with Destiny, I have noticed there is a tendency for him to exaggerate the harms done to him. So
yeah.
It's a small little thing I've noticed, and to wildly over retaliate in response. So, well, I don't know the answer, but
I would say like the pattern to me seems to be that like basically I think he found one guy that he could like he knew things about. I'm guessing he was probably being DDoSed by quite a few people because people just generally knew the method to go on Skype and get this guy really pissed off. And I'm guessing it's possible that he was DDoSed multiple times by multiple people who were all fucking with him, and he just found one of them, and he was like, oh, well, here's the person I can retaliate against.
Yeah.
And so he took all of the DDoSing that happened to him, and he blamed this kid for all of it, right? And was ready to go after him based on that.
Maybe I don't know. I'm agnostic about that. But when Destiny claims that somebody did something to him, my default is to multiply the harm stated by like 0.1, and then that's what I think they did.
Yeah.
I have a heavy dose of skepticism about.
His producer carried the album, not gonna lie. Like Kanye's smooth voice helps. He hasn't been a good lyricist for a while. That's just so true. It's like Ye was obviously carried by producers and ghostwriters. Let's be totally serious. Let's be totally serious here. Ye was carried. He barely made anything on that album. I'm pretty convinced he like made fuck all on that album. I think he was already gone by that point.
Destiny's ability to accurately perceive how much harm is being done to him.
Donda sucked.
Yeah,
Donda couldn't be carried. Donda literally Donda and Donda 2 suck.
Kingler92 says, I think also he
That
just
was
doesn't really
Donda 2,
care. I
right?
think
I'm pretty
he,
sure that was Donda 2.
If he feels he is being harmed, he will take the first person he can blame for it, whoever he can crystallize the harm on, and he will attack them as if all the harm is because of that person, even if he can't demonstrate that, or if he can't prove it, or if it's just totally like fabricated in his brain. Whoever is responsible for most of that harm is the person he'll go after. Destiny said he wanted to sue for $2,000 in damages. I think the other guy said $500 or something. Did you ask how he found these people? It said in the video that they reached out to him.
He commented
also,
on a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Being like, I'm the DDoS kid and I want to talk to MrGirl or something like that.
I see. So Kingler92 still concerned that the guy brought up mass shootings multiple times. It seemed like that was a concern of his in reference to Destiny. Well, I think the guy just generally thought Destiny's like a psychopath who's going to hurt somebody. I don't think that was necessarily thinking that Destiny was coming for them. It was that he's like still threatening people. Was my impression.
Yeah, that was
of the
more like a
interview.
public safety, like this person is crazy thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's more than one DDoSer. Why did the DDoSing stop after this kid stopped? I thought the
I think you
DDoSing stopped when
mistakenly
Destiny
forgot to
figured
give
out
me
the
mods.
VPS workaround, getting his own virtual private server that he would bounce his connection off of, like his StarCraft connection, or like most of his internet traffic off of. Ask Max how angry he would have gotten if the DDoS guy kept repeatedly DDoSing him and he was running low on money because of it.
Very.
Okay, Deep. Kanye was. It's not true anymore. That's just not true anymore. I agree with you fundamentally, but it's not true anymore.
I don't like it when people fuck with my money.
Wow.
I get pissed off.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is like, oh, Destiny had no reason to be mad. I don't think anybody has said that ever.
No, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't say I get threatened to rape a high schooler mad, but I get pretty mad.
Look at this picture of your sister on the freshman volley. She's a freshman on the volleyball team. I'm gonna rape this bitch and your mom. Wow.
That's not really on my anger scale. That's like, just not on there.
Well, we've all been there. True, Lucas. True.
We've all been there.
Hey,
We've all been there, folks.
You wake up, you slept weird, you get a crank
We've
in
all
your neck,
been there.
you're
Haven't
like,
we
"Oh,
all
fuck,
been there?
I wish there's a
Haven't we all been there? Haven't we all been there? We've all been there, folks. We've all been there.
Player here.
We've all
I
felt
understand.
that.
We all get it.
Max could have
Does
assured him a
Max-
little that Destiny isn't going to mass shoot people. I can't assure him. I think Destiny is crazy. I don't know what he's going to do.
When you're threatening to
Like I
rape
said,
someone's
he's-
underage
he's-
sister.
He's now into stochastic terrorism, where he's trying to get people to kill his critics. So I don't know what he's going to do.
Well, I mean, I think the important thing to say here would be just by his own definition, right? I don't know if you saw
Oh, yeah,
he
yeah.
further engaged in this. He broadly, basically, people are like, dude, it's like so crazy. Everything's going to shit and we can't do anything. Aren't you going to do something, Destiny? He's like, well, I can't do anything until my court cases finish. And it's just like, you're really going to point over at your court cases and be like, oh, they're preventing me from stopping Donald Trump. To your audience who thinks that...
No, it's not even... Okay, can we stop the coat, please? It's not even like it's been a couple of misses for Kanye. All Kanye albums. Which albums have come out in the past few years that have actually been good? So the literal last one that was good was literally... It was Kid See Ghost. It was just Kid See Ghost. That's the only one that was any good. Yeah, literally everything else has been shit. Jesus King, Donda 2... Carnival Pack Bully, Yandi. Like, all this shit was so fucking terrible. It was Kid See Ghost. That was the last album. And yeah, just before that. Elop. Jesus. Watch a Throne. All bangers. All bangers all the way back. Jesus King blows. Nah, Jesus King sucked. I wanted to like Jesus King. I wanted to like it. I was down for the gospel shit. I was so down. And it ended up sucking. It just did not hit.
Excuse any wrongdoing on your part so that you can go after Donald Trump. I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy, but hey.
Yeah.
It's just me. But again, I just don't think anything will happen, so... I personally...
Yes. I know, the Sunday service versions are better. I know. Where's, which one was it? It was this one, right? I'm getting totally distracted.
But I said, who am I? I'm the guy. Let me send me a picture, not this one.
Yeah, it's just so hard.
It's like the, it's the quote from the man who was stabbed. It's like, what are you gonna do, stab me? Quoting man who was stabbed. That's me every time. I'm like, no, I don't think it'll happen. But
There's a
then it
YouTube
happens.
video. There's a YouTube compilation of scenes from movies with people saying, "What are you gonna do? Shoot me?" and then getting shot.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, so I'm just sitting here and I'm like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Kill me? I think the dad calling Max a reporter was a compliment.
That's very nice of him to say that.
What happened in 2024 that stopped him from doing anything? Well, he tried to do stuff, Joji. He tried to run his canvassing stuff, progressive victory, just didn't work. I think they broadly lost everywhere they door knocked pretty badly. Did talking to the DDoS Kid and his dad change his mind? So it's asking you, did it change your mind about the situation, how Destiny represented it? Were there any similarities when speaking to other victims?
No, it didn't really change my mind. I mean, like, I know that anxiety that you get when people threaten to kill you, and when there's like a large fan base criticize. I mean, I feel like I have dealt with every component of what he's talking about. Not when I was 16, but oh, actually, I did have people threaten to kill me when I was 16, so I do know. I actually have dealt with every component of what he's talking about. So no, it didn't really change my opinion. Like, my sense of like how insane it is to threaten to kill or plan to kill a 16-year-old is very independent of what the 16-year-old did or even what their personality's like. There isn't really a situation where planning to kill a 16-year-old is justifiable. I can't think of one. So,
I mean,
it didn't change my opinion.
It depends on what you mean by planning. I feel like making it public, like exfoliating, expounding on it is what I meant to say. Making it public and expounding on it is what seems really like weird. I just talked a lot about how Destiny has no impulse control. Like, he's just going to, the second he has like a childish whim, he will engage in it like automatically. And it can make like very funny content on the internet, but it's also like when he throws temper tantrums. He's an adult throwing a temper tantrum, right? You should get the Destiny defenders to call in. So I'm just saying that, like, so he does this. It's like
very difficult to find Destiny defenders or MrGirl haters to call in. I find personally.
Like, I think probably if I was in this situation, I'd be like, fuck, I would get this person. I would, like, maybe I'd even think like I would kill this person if I had the chance. But it's like, that's a intrusive thought, right? Destiny verbalizes and like what would you call it, like spirals on his intrusive thoughts.
Yeah,
I think it like leads to content sometimes, really funny stuff where he'll say like really inappropriate shit that's like shocking and funny, but also like I think it leads to him like actually spiraling on really dark shit that it's just like most people just wouldn't verbalize that, right? If you're gonna dox people and you're like a famous online creator, most people would be scared of that. If you're gonna like double down on death threats to people or encouraging violence against people,
so we're getting to the point where there's like an overwhelming itch in me to play Marvel Rivals and listen to music right now. So we have got pushed through for a moment, but I'm getting
to do that.
I'm getting
just
close.
For no real upside, but I don't think it even crosses his mind that he's doing it. I don't think he cares in the moment. He just throws tantrums.
I am, you know, we're sitting here excoriating Destiny. That's what I'm looking for. Excoriating Destiny for being impulsive, having low impulse control right now. I'm projecting. I am. I'll admit. I have no impulse control. I just want to sit here and play video games all day.
I always think about when he said that he would kill everyone on Earth to extend his own life by 15 minutes.
That's funny.
I just don't think he sees other people as real, really.
Yeah, that's I wanted to ask Counterpoints this question, because Counterpoints always dismisses the sexual stuff with like, oh, well, he's a sexual degenerate. All these women should have known he was a sexual degenerate and that he wouldn't respect their consent. But I did want to ask him, and he got asked today, but he dodged the question. Basically, like, okay, why then did Destiny, not in a sexual, I assume he didn't do this for sexual gratification, leak the closely guarded identity of Lauren Southern's child to a 19-year-old he's never met before? To me, the only answer to that question is he doesn't see other people as, like, real or important or, like, worthy of consideration.
Yeah. I agree.
Counterpoints dodged that question. He didn't actually answer the question, but he yapped a lot. I assume that would be difficult for people to answer. Yeah. Oh, also, the other thing, like I say he has no impulse control. There is also the other thing where it's like, oh, I guess it does just work, though. Like, everybody's too terrified to bother, like, they don't want to, you know, have their names on the record going against him now, right? A whole bunch of people backed out, apparently, in Pixie's case. Like, that's what the lawyers were saying. I don't know if that's true.
It's scary. I mean, yeah, that's what I found. But they just, even trying to talk to people, like, off the record, they were completely terrified.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like that Kiwi Farms feeling of, like, crazy people latching onto you. That's scary. Like, it's not... I don't think it's so much like the idea that he's actually going to show up at your house, like, with a gun. It's that he's going to fixate on you, and then other people are going to fixate on you, and then, like, I mean, the DDoS story is, like, an example of how people can fuck with you over the internet, but, like, when they have a big platform, and they have, foot soldiers, it's like a endless barrage of harassment that's, like, impossible to escape from, so I get why people don't want to deal with it, because it's horrible. But it's the same. The exact same. It's the reason that people are standing up to him, because he does that. It works. Yeah, it works. It scares people.
Yeah, I think the thing isn't like. I think a lot of these people, if they were actually victimized in the same way, they would want to stand up and say something. But a lot of them, like, their stuff's not necessarily public, right? Like, they weren't a part of the actual initial leaks, even though there was pornography shared with them non-consensually. And I just think they probably just, you know, what's the upside to them coming out and saying that it happened? They get, like, Destiny's insane fans going after them, they get Destiny himself going after them, and they don't, they get nothing, right? They just out themselves as a victim. There's just no upside. If there was, like, an upside for them, or if they were publicly victimized, like, it might make a difference, but I hope that, I mean, I get it, but it does kind of suck to me a little bit that, like, people basically like, well, I've already been victimized the most amount I'm going to be, so realistically, like, doing anything about this guy, that's not going to serve me at all. Sort of the, why should I have to, what's the point of reporting my rape to the police? They're not going to do anything about it, right? Okay.
Right.
I guess we could take that. I guess we could take
Well, I
that
mean, they're
approach.
right. It's a harrowing experience, and I mean, part of why he makes examples of people is to make it clear that it is going to cost you a lot to speak out.
Yeah. Dan kind of followed through on that too. The whole, like, yeah, don't bother coming back. You're not here for this. Don't bother coming back. It's like, okay. I feel like this is a weird way to go in this moment, but hey, it is what it is. I do think President Sunday said one fact, which is MrGirl fucked up the original cancellation by attaching himself to it. I mean, you can make that argument, but then, unfortunately, I don't know what criticism Sunday had of Max back when he made the original criticisms that doesn't apply to him now, right? With the whole Pixie thing. Like, he was very close to it. He wanted revenge on Destiny, and he made some decisions that probably he would have really, really spurned Max for. But in this moment, you know, he decided to go through with it.
Yeah, Jay Stuck was the DDoS Kid.
The thing is that the thing that makes it so that I say things that make people angry, the reason I'm willing to say provocative things is the same reason that I was willing to stand up to Destiny. So I don't think you really are going to get someone who is, like, willing to sort of self-immolate in that situation, who doesn't ever do that in any other situation. I don't think you're going to get... I think people who, you know, keep themselves clean and...
I don't know what there is to say about this, man. I think we're kind of running out of shit to say about this. I kind of want to watch Liquid Sonic's new video, but I also want to make a decent segment out of it for the second channel, so I don't know if we'll do it today while I'm off camera.